Icing on the Awake. The bedroom is one of my favourite rooms. One of my ex-girlfriends used to call it the torture chamber. Another called it the freezer. Their appellations amused me. I don't like to be touched. It has been suggested to me that this is because touch reminds me too much of what I am missing. I found such a remark amusing. I prefer not to be touched, so how on earth would I miss not being touched? I soon learned, in the bedroom, however, that there was an expectancy to touch and to hold. At first, I would go along with this ritual, but I soon tired of it, and the thought of spooning made me gag. I then learned, however, that my dislike of being touched and touching was actually a very useful weapon. I initially refrained from touching purely because I did not like it. No more, no less. The person in bed with me, however, would make such a scene about it that I learned that they had to be touched or held to affirm to them that I apparently felt something for them. Accordingly, by withholding any form of contact, this would really upset them. It was quite marvellous. I was able to turn an idiosyncrasy of mine into a tool to cause upset and distress. If I refused to cuddle up, then I would be met with loud sighs and pleading requests, all fuel, of course. This emboldened me not to even face their way. In fact, I would lie looking at them and then purposefully turn my back on them. Moments later, the sobbing would start, and as the fuel flowed my way, I would feel the power increasing before I drifted off to sleep. From what they told me, they endured many a lonely night trying to sleep thereafter. If they tried to place an arm around me, I would shrug it off, or, if really irritated, and this was a body blow to them, I would get up and sleep in the spare room. I enjoyed doing that. Not only did I get to isolate the other person, but then I was able to criticize them in the morning for forcing me from my bed and into the spare room, continuing my devaluing manipulation of them, drawing further fuel from them, and causing them confusion as they adopted the approach that it was I that had chosen to go and sleep elsewhere, and that they had not driven me to the spare room. Of course, their protestations and their concerns were merely additional fuel to me, and I continued to provoke them by suggesting that it was their behaviour that had made me need to go and sleep elsewhere. I would tell them that they snored when they did not. I would say that something they had eaten was causing a rather malodorous stench to make the room most unpleasant, and I just had to escape them. In other instances, I would tell them that their feet kept knocking against mine in their sleep, or that they would talk in their sleep, and that was disrupting me, and that I needed my sleep in order to be effective the next day because of my commitments. The fact is, of course, that once I am asleep, I may as well be dead. I sleep soundly and deeply until, after 4, possibly 5 hours, it is time for me to rise and to continue. Nevertheless, the number of occasions that I used my machinations, utilizing what was expected to occur within the bedroom in terms of just holding one another, cuddling up together, spooning, and intimacy, resulted in me being able to extract fuel repeatedly from those individuals which thought that they were going to be treated warmly and intimately. Instead, they found many a time a purely icy reception.